My name is Elke. I've lived in the United Kingdom for 50 years. We'll have to now apply for settled status. I waited for my son to come over because you have to make the application on an Android phone, a photograph, so he did that for me. He scanned in my passport, he then took a photograph, and then he said you should now get an email, which I did, and it said there's a problem, but it didn't tell me whether I was the problem or whether the system was the problem. So I sent a letter saying, here's my national insurance number, and is there any other information you require? So I phoned up and I got a really helpful person on the helpline of the Home Office, and he said, oh, I'll have a look for you. He looked for it and he found my photo, and he also found my scanned passport. And he said, well, we can go through the rest of the application now. He stayed on the line, so I had some guidance what I should put in. And he said, okay, if you're happy with that, just press the send button and that's it. So I could do it actually on my computer at home rather than the phone. And then I got another email to say, could I please prove that I've been living here the last 5 years of my life? And it's quite difficult, actually. Our rates bill, everything is in my husband's name. We need to cover documents worth 5 years, but you can only upload 10 documents.
Hi Elke, and thank you for your question about your application to the settlement scheme. It sounds like you've had a number of problems with the process of applying, which hopefully most people won't have encountered. So I just want to talk about a couple of things that you've mentioned in your question, such as the automatic checks to do with the national insurance number. Sometimes these checks don't work as well as we'd hoped they would do, and they do come back showing that the Home Office doesn't have a record of you living in the UK. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your national insurance number or your tax records, it's just the check didn't work properly. When that happens, the Home Office asks you to send in documents covering your UK residence for 5 years. Again, the Home Office has a generous policy when it comes to accepting a wide range of documents, and so even though you may not have that many because things like bills are in your husband's name, you should be able to find something that the Home Office will accept. When it comes to uploading your evidence of residence, you do have 10 files that you can upload to the application form, and each of these files can take 6 megabytes of data. So that means the best thing to do is to combine evidence together to build up a bigger file to upload, and that means that you should be able to do all of the 5 years within the 10 files that you can upload.